Hi, I'm Jay Donecker, Mayor of the City of Reidsville, and today I'm going to speak about issues from the heart in association with Mr. Jamal Davis. The first issue that jumps from my heart that we need to talk about is community engagement. There is an impression in our communities, not just here in the city of Reidsville, but also in our county and in our state, that if things aren't perfect, then we have to throw everything out and start all over again, and we do not need to do that. What we need is improved community engagement. And at the City of Reidsville level, what that means for us is that we have our city council meetings at night so that most people who, when they get off work, if they want to attend and see our local government in action, they can. And that leads to an improvement in trust, because until we have more community engagement, we will not be able to increase the level of trust that our citizens have in our form of government, locally, state, and nationally. Other thing that we do is we have to embrace the change in our social media and the way that people find out about the world. Fewer people are reading the newspapers, more people are watching television, even more people are getting involved with social media. To that end, the City of Reidsville has an app called Reidsville Connect that is free, that anybody can download. They can not only keep track of coming attractions, issues, or events that are associated with our city. In addition, there's a feature where you actually can take a photograph and email it to our city staff about questions, problems, or issues that you have seen within our city. It's all an effort to let people know that we are very approachable, and once people feel comfortable in being able to approach us, that will increase our level of engagement. Ultimately, that will increase the level of trust that people have when issues impact their lives, and they're concerned that our city staff or the City of Reidsville isn't responding to them appropriately, or to give them a sense of confidence that we are responding, and the mode that we are, or the way that we're addressing the puzzle or solving the puzzle is a way that they agree with. That to me is very important. We also are a community which does embrace diversity. We're one of the most diverse cities in the Triad. We're very proud of that, because diversity leads to creativity. It also means that not everybody has the same solution for the same puzzle. And so we embrace that as a community. That's why we need more citizen engagement, so that we can arrive at solutions that the majority of people trust and know that the outcome is something that they would like. Third way that we deal with citizens engagement is there's been a lot of attention recently in regards to the police and the community interactions. We have a legacy here at the City of Reidsville of having a community watch program that goes back over 2 decades. It's a very strong program. It's a dynamic program in which you can't solve the issue of community communication in one fell swoop and then walk away from it. It's something that you constantly have to keep nurturing and responding as it changes and the issues show themselves. We actually put body cameras on our officers. I want to say in 2013, because we had access to a federal grant, but also because, again, we felt the citizens needed to have a higher level of trust in our officers, who have done a wonderful job here. But with the body cameras, it just sends the message that we really are keeping up with the times, and we do want to do what is most appropriate for the safety, security of our citizens, but also the trust. And the only way we will build trust is by having our officers have the body cameras, but also a very strong community watch program where there's a lot of engagement. We have also started with our new chief, Chief Hassel, a Coffee with a Cop program, to where our officers will meet at various fast food locations and have coffee with people in a very relaxed fashion, just to find out, take a temperature of the community, take a pulse on the community, just to make sure that we're going in the direction and we're addressing the problems that should. Another issue that we are trying to help with citizen engagement is all our police cars now on the side of their bars above their cabs of their car there's a very soft blue light, so that when these officers are going through the various sections of our community, the citizens will see them and notice them, and hopefully provide a little bit more sense of security, so that we do not get comments saying, well, the only time I see an officer is when there's trouble. And that is definitely not true here in Reidsville, and it's definitely not true in the majority of communities around our country. But we have to start locally to build this sense of trust in our local government. We have to expose what we do in a more transparent fashion so people understand how we use the Constitution of the United States on a daily basis to deliver the appropriate care and attention to the different problems that are thrown towards our city. Also, for everybody to realize, our city government here in the city of Reidsville deals with public works, water and sewage, public safety, fire and police, and public recreation. There are other issues that impact our community, such as our schools, but they are actually managed by our county commissioners or our state legislature. There is an issue, though, for the city of Reidsville and the children that attend our schools here, that as we're trying to attract more people to move here, consistently we hear comments about our school system. And they are, when we approach them, we find out they are unfounded rumors and gossip. And when you look at the test scores and you look at the success of many of our students from the city of Reidsville and where they've gone on to be in this world, these concerns about our schools are necessary to make sure that we deliver the best education possible. But to have somebody with a young family be concerned to locate the family here because of the concern about education here, or a reduced level of education being delivered, is an unfounded worry. Too many people have successfully had their children go from here, be cum laude, graduates of universities throughout this region and the world. And just a little aside, it's a Reidsville High School graduate who is currently serving as the admiral in charge for the naval fleet that's in the Middle East right now. And that individual graduated from Reidsville High quite a number of years ago, but there's a legacy of education here coming out of our city, which we are very proud of. Another issue that I've been asked to speak to is, what do we feel is the future, the near and in the more distant future in regards to jobs here in our city of Reidsville and the economic outlook. We are addressing our economic outlook by a number of ways. We are working with our existing industries, helping them to expand, in which a number of them are, whether it's Unify, whether it's Beta Fuels, whether it's M1 Manufacturing, whether it's Rothschild Industries. They have all expanded in the last year. We have facilitated that either with sewage grants to allow appropriate sewage to be transported from their plants and handled appropriately, or workforce involvement, or helping them expand the footprint of their industry. All of these have been successful. We have now an economic development team here at the city of Reidsville. Jeff Garska was hired in March. He worked with our city manager, Preston Mitchell, but we also bring in assets from the county and the state when it's applicable. So we are addressing the idea of having more jobs here. There is an issue right now, though, in regards to jobs, in that we have more jobs openings than what we have qualified people. And so we are addressing that by speaking with our school district as well as our Rockingham Community College in trying to up the level of skills for the entry-level employees, but also to have more focused training for those specific techniques that companies need in our area, but at which they're having a hard time identifying appropriate applicants or candidates to fill those positions. We actually have an industry right now that has 50 open spots in which they're taking care of those spots by temporary workers only because they are unable to find appropriately trained individuals. So I would say at the moment, with our economy turning around, thanks primarily to many of the measures that were implemented at the federal level, then at the state level, we're now feeling them at the local level, during the last 8 years. And most of our industries here are doing very, very well. And we would love to have more people either move here to accept these jobs and live nearby, or at the very least commute and help fill these jobs, because we do not provide an accessible workforce for these industries. They won't expand, and if they cannot expand, many times that's the first step to them contracting or relocating somewhere else. So I hope I've covered all the issues that at the moment, some might say keep me up at night, but I can tell you that at this point in time, the city of Reidsville, due to our council, due to our new city manager, is addressing them, and our citizen involvement is addressing these issues as best as possible. And personally, I'm very optimistic for all the new things that are happening here in our downtown, whether it's from the organization of a cooperative microbrewery, to a new restaurant on our circle, Southern Culture, to being portrayed in Toy Makers on the Velocity channel for their initial, I think, second program of the year. So all in all, things are going very well here in the city of Reidsville, and I would welcome any contact from anybody about any of the points that I spoke about today. This is Jay Donecker. I am the mayor of the city of Reidsville. I enjoy very much working with our citizens to help solve these puzzles, and these are the issues that have come from my heart. Issues from the heart.